Hello and welcome to another episode of First and Forever with your host, me, Dion the Don Young. An eventful week of college football and especially the NFL. Last I left off, the Falcons was heading into Minnesota. Got a big win on Sunday Night Football. Um, Defense played played their best game of the season, the short season against Minnesota. The offense still left a lot to be desired. Going back from the Tampa Bay game and a lot of good NFL action the last few weeks in college ball. Hometown team, well, the family team, um, Auburn Tigers. They had a big game going into Oklahoma in Norman and just didn't perform as up to par as they should. Um, Calls didn't go our way. Referees mishaps, critical overturns of calls. Um, but Jackson Arnold got sacked 10 times, holding on to the ball too long. Offensive line didn't perform at their best, and Auburn is going to improve, looking to improve on um, their mishaps and capitalize on um, things they can control and going on to College Station this Saturday um, in Aggieland. And we'll see. This Texas A&M team is very tough. Uh, they are their offense is rolling. Always had defense. They coming off a big win a couple Saturdays ago against Notre Dame in South Bend, and they're rolling high right now. They really um, playing some good ball, and they're undefeated, number 9 in the nation. Marcel Reed has only thrown one interception all season, not with 9 touchdowns, 869 yards passing, and he's really improved from the last few years, getting more the more experience he got under his belt, um, the better he has played. They haven't really run the ball well. Running back Moss with just 4 touchdowns on 33 carries, 168 yards rushing on the young season. They A&M is a tough place to play. It's interesting to see where um, Auburn can handle the crowd noise, the environment. They really struggled. I think they struggled with that in Norman. Jackson Arnold, former Oklahoma quarterback, going back to Norman, and of course he was gonna get greeted with booze, and um, I think he handled it well. Um, but I know he wanted to come out with the win, going back to Oklahoma and shut that fan base up. And him now being a Texas, born a Texas boy and coming off a win at Baylor, the first game of the season, and now going to Texas A&M. I'm sure he would love to go in there and back to Texas and get a win. I think this game will be won and lost on the defensive end. Um, Auburn defense has really played well. Really played well against Oklahoma. Um, I think the offense could could definitely score on Texas A&M defense. Notre Dame had a two touchdown two touchdown lead. Um, Notre Dame offense had a two touchdown lead against A&M, and Marcel Reed started getting things rolling, and A&M walked out of South Bend with that win. So I think the defense will have to stop A&M offense to seal that victory at College Station, and I think they will. I think the defense, Auburn defense, will step up, and I think Auburn will come away with that victory, most crucial victory, um, with the bye week coming up in Georgia after the bye at home. The college game is must watch this week. USC Illinois in the Big Ten. LSU Ole Miss in the SEC. A lot of crucial games. Oregon, Penn State, Saturday night whiteout. Um, that game is definitely a must watch. And of course, Alabama and Georgia. Um, which Alabama team would show up in Athens? Is a big question mark. It is something that's very intriguing on a young season of college ball. Um, will Alabama turn it around? Will Alabama savage their season after that early one loss to Florida State? And I believe Georgia has to get the lead early, jump on them early, to not give them that hope of coming back in Athens. Um, that Penn State Oregon game is all matters on which Penn State team shows up. Penn State cannot afford to be on national television against a marquee matchup, marquee team, and shit the bed. Franklin has had many chances to show he can win the big game, and always fails. And it remains to be seen, will and can Drew Aller win a big game? And this Penn State team has struggled early on with the inferior opponent to really manhandle and blow them out. Other than, even though FIU didn't really score, let's be honest, the score should really be much higher than 34-0. They beat Villanova 52-6. and they handled Nevada 46-11. While this Oregon team had beat Oklahoma State 69-3. Speaking of Oklahoma State, they fired Mike Gundy um, on Tuesday, and it was long overdue. I believe 21 years at a top tier program like Oklahoma State, you can't ask for anything else. Like 21 years, that's pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. But it was time to a change after losing to Tulsa and dropping a 1-3 on the season. All right, 1-2. Apologize. 1-2, potentially 1-3 against Baylor coming to town uh, this week in Stillwater. Then you got Arizona and Houston. It doesn't get any easier for Oklahoma State. So it's likely that Oklahoma State might not win another game looking at their schedule. Cincinnati might be a toss up. Other than that, I don't. Kansas State as well. Kansas State has struggled, really struggled. They recovered from Dublin, the overseas trip to kick off the college football season with Iowa State. So going back to top games of Saturday in college football, Ole Miss, LSU. Um, Ole Miss look like has found their quarterback in Trinidad Chambliss. LSU is still looking for a true spark in their offense. That's another game too. Would be one on the defensive end. I have real much confidence that LSU defense will make the big plays to close out Ole Miss uh, in the Grove. Some other games. I really do like this slate for Saturday. Another game, Notre Dame, Arkansas. Um, Arkansas could get the true upset. Notre Dame, the young quarterback C.J. Carr travels to Arkansas. 12 noon kick, be like 11 o'clock on local time. I can see Arkansas getting the win. Arkansas should have won last week against Memphis. They was up 2 touchdowns with very few time left, and they let that game get away. This game could be one of the games that could save Sam Pittman for another season, or if they lose, he could be gone mid-season. Depends on how bad if they lose. Illinois, USC. Illinois, what a bad performance. Indiana last week scored got 63 points hung up on them. 63-10, I believe. Um, that's a awful performance um, by a team that showed improvement, and it looked like they was on the way to possibly winning the Big Ten. Um, this USC team haven't really watched much of them. Um, they have one of the top offenses in the country. Um, a quarterback Mavia has already 1,223 passing yards on 9 touchdowns. That's impressive. They throw the ball almost every play. Um, I would definitely watch this game on Saturday. Um, according to ESPN Analytics, USC is scheduled to win about 72.9%. So that is one of those games that I really must watch. Really must watch. Also on Tuesday, the SEC um, they brought out their annual opponents are schedules for 2026 to 2029. Um, and some interesting matchups coming up down the road. You get Texas at different schools that haven't played yet in the SEC. So I kind of like what they're doing with this non-conference schedule. We get Auburn, LSU back after a couple years of not playing each other because of Texas and Oklahoma joining the SEC, and I really appreciate um, teams that teams in the SEC that haven't really played each other in recent years. Next year, Auburn is going to Tennessee. I think that's a game that's been missing for a while. Um, that's a marquee game that I think Auburn is would circle on the calendar, especially with like Tennessee is going to be in a higher rankings come next football season. Top top rankings with the team they have coming back or coming in. So um, I think that's a pretty good pretty good point to game to circle on the next year's calendar. Going to NFL, gonna keep it honest with you. The Atlanta Falcons. This is a game that is a must win. This is a game coming up at home versus the Commanders. Dan Quinn coming to town. Dan Quinn coming back to Atlanta. Marcus Mariota could be starting for the Commanders. You do not, you do not want to lose this game. Do not. The fan base will turn. The fan base will turn on the Falcons for the rest of the season if you fall to 1-3. 1-3. Zach Robinson, you get out of town. Raheem Morris, your days are numbered. You do not want to fall to 1-3, losing to Dan Quinn and possibly Marcus Mariota at QB. Don't want to do it. Could be a disaster. I promise you. If the Falcons lose at home to the Commanders, the fan base will turn. Zach Robinson will be fired. And Raheem Moore's days are numbered as the Falcons head coach. Some other games from this past Sunday and looking ahead to this Sunday. Cowboys. That defense. Jerry Jones. You really fucked up trading Michael Parsons. He saved that defense for 2 years or even longer from being the disaster that it is now. And Michael Parsons is coming back to Dallas this weekend. Sunday Night Football. And will wreak havoc on that Cowboys offense. Without CeeDee Lamb, it could get ugly. Packers coming off a loss that should have been a win against Cleveland this Sunday night could get ugly for Dallas Cowboys. Chargers beat the Broncos. Chargers, I said it. They win their division. They're undefeated and looking to keep riding that high. But the Chiefs might be coming. Might. Texans fall to 0-3. CJ Stroud might be broken. He might. I don't know what's going on. He might be broken. He might need help retooling. Maybe he peaks too soon. 28 for 35, 28 5 for 38, 1 touchdown, 2 interceptions, 204 yards passing. He really missed Joe Mixon. I think he really missed Joe Mixon. They don't really have a running game right now. Passing about 38 times. I don't think they ran the ball particularly much. So you're really missing that running game. And their offensive line is god awful. That offensive line of Houston is really bad. Colts remain undefeated, beating the Titans, the winless Titans, 41-20. Daniel Jones, he's balling. He really is. MVP season look like it's coming up, quite possibly. quite possibly. Um, he really, he really is playing out of his world right now. You got a running game, you got an offensive line, the coach defense flying around. Um, if the coach can stay healthy, keep it up. Quite possibly they can make some noise, make the playoffs, make some noise. Buccaneers remain undefeated. Baker Mayfield doing magic. He's really um, commanding the game and been commander of the season so far, leading the Buccaneers on 3 game winning drives. Really, um, this game against the Jets, 19-29, 1 touchdown, 233 yards. Um, he got the Buccaneers out of a hole that was in the fourth quarter that was losing 21-6, fourth quarter points. And he took the Buccaneers to another game winning drive in their home opener. And Bucks remain undefeated. Patriots, Steelers. 5 turnovers for the Patriots. Steelers only won by 1 touchdown. Like, how's that possible? Their offense, um, Steelers' offense continued to struggle. Like receivers to connect, they can't run the ball. So Aaron Rodgers continues to pretty much carry the Steelers. The defense obviously got the 5 turnovers, but their offense is not really producing. Jaylen Warren only 18 carries, 47 yards. That's not winning football. That's not winning football. The 49ers beat the Cardinals, remain undefeated, but the 49ers have everyone hurt. And it's crazy how they remain undefeated with their injury report looking like a hospital. Hospital rooms, someone in this room, someone in that room. Oh, he's back there. Oh, he's up front. Hard to remain undefeated when you got all those injuries. Bears, we mentioned the Bears, Cowboys, Chiefs, Giants, Russell Wilson. Like, oh man, that was bad, bro. Might be time to hang it on up. Jackson Dart is now a starter in New York for the Giants. So Russ is now back up once again. It was most likely be his last stop. If this is the case, it was a good run, Russ. I think it's personally time, but it's all. I think. I don't think he'll get another shot with another team. But I think Jackson Dart has the intangibles to be a successful starting quarterback in New York. Just got to know in the media. They got a good running game in Cam Scatterboo. They obviously have a defense, nasty defense, in New York with the Giants. So I think sky's the limit for Giants with that 1-2 puncher Jackson Dart and Cam Scatterboo. Uh, Rams Eagles. Um, Rams. How you blow that lead? Like 26-7, and Eagles come storming back with I believe, a little luck involved, but um, I believe the Eagles undefeated and they just keep getting lucky. In my opinion, their defense is not really great. Jalen Hurts really won this game for him. 21-32, 3 touchdowns, 26 yards passing. Rams could capitalize in the second half. After a good first half, Rams went scoreless in the fourth quarter alone. So that's a recipe for disaster when you're playing the Eagles on the road. Some games to look out for this weekend in NFL. Starting out with the Cardinals Seahawks in a rivalry game. I think the new Nike jersey is gonna be worn this game with the Seahawks and Cardinals. That'd be interesting to see. Like the rival Nike uniforms that released before the season. Vikings Steelers in Dublin. That'll be interesting seeing. Obviously, Commanders Falcons. Will Jay Daniels play? We'll see. Most likely, probably sit. Eagles Buccaneers. That's the game at 1:00 in Tampa, which should be a 4:00. I wish they would just tweak the schedule mid-season. That should be a 4:00 game with obviously the Jaguars, 49ers at 4, Colts Rams. That could be a good one. Ravens Chiefs. Ravens. That game on Monday night. Oof. Lions were all over Lamar, and looked like the Lions are back. After that first week, like the Lions are dead. Now the Lions might be back. Their defense was all over Lamar Jackson, and the offense was clicking on all cylinders. That Ravens defense is still bad. It's god awful. It'll be interesting to see with the Chiefs and how they continue to improve after that win in New York. And can the Ravens stop the Chiefs? The Ravens defense stop the Chiefs, and will Lamar Jackson come back after having a horrible game, holding on to the ball too long, got sacked 7 times, and will Derrick Henry hold on to the football? The football is the program, and he continues to fumble the ball. 3 games of the regular season, 3 straight fumbles in every game. And will he continue to hold on to the ball? We'll see. Obviously, Packers Cowboys Sunday night. That's a game everybody will watching. Michael Parsons come back to Dallas. All right, that is the episode for this week, First and Forever, with me, Dion Young, Dion the Don Young, signing off for this week in First and Forever. Which teams will come out and show their worth this week? Will the Falcons come back after losing 30-0 in Carolina? Will they come back and get a home victory? Much needed home victory. where the Auburn Tigers beat Texas A&M at College Station. Will Georgia take care of business at home against Alabama? Um, we'll see. It should be an interesting week of college ball, NFL football, football in general. I'm excited for this slate, NFL and college ball, Saturday and Sunday. Um, till then, next week we'll talk about the games and capitalize um, on what's next in college and pro football. Send in, sign off. Peace.